Take note of your calendar. Google now shows how many days left until you complete a task. Google has become the most useful calendar there is, and it's possible that you use it more often than you realize. When you send an email, text or make a phone call, your Google Calendar pops up to complete your task with no need for you to try to find the certain party's number. Just another thing this amazing tech could do for us. What is Google Calendar? Google Calendar is a free service from Google that lets you keep track of your schedule and appointments. You can add events, set reminders, and find out what's upcoming. How does it work? When you create or edit an event on Google Calendar, the service uses your computer's time zone to adjust the event's start time for your locale. This way, events always show up in the same order on all devices. For example, if an event is at 8 p.m. on the evening of Tuesday but you're actually in Boston, Massachusetts, the event will show up as scheduled for 8 p.m. on Wednesday night in your calendar. Can I use Google Calendar on Polyphony or Android device? You can use Google Calendar on both Polyphony and Android devices. However, you may need to install the Google Calendar app if you do not have it installed already. Use Google Calendar for work. Google Calendar is a great way to keep organized and aware of your day-to-day schedule. By default, it pulls in information from your Gmail account, but you can add other calendars as well. One particularly useful function is the due date reminder, which will tell you how many days are left until a task is due. Just enable the reminder on the task's details page, and Google now will show you how many days are left. It's also a great way to stay on top of who owes you what. Just hover your cursor over the person's name in Google Calendar and you'll see their due dates and any notes about the task. This is especially helpful if you have a lot of contacts in Google Calendar and want to quickly find out what someone needs from you. How does the Appb function? Google Now, the app that runs on Android and iOS devices, has recently been updated with a new feature that helps you keep track of how many days are left until a task is completed. The feature is called Completed Tasks. When you launch Google Now and open the Completed Tasks card, you'll see all of your tasks listed with their respective due dates. You can also see how much time you have remaining to complete the task, as well as an estimate of how much work lies ahead. This helpful feature comes in handy for anyone who relies on Google's productivity-boosting platform. Whether you need to get more work done before your day ends or just want to make sure you don't forget any important deadlines, this new update from Google Now is a lifesaver. What does it include? Google Now keeps track of how many days are left until a task is completed, perfect for keeping yourself on track. If you are trying to allocate time in your day to do something, knowing how many days remain can be very helpful. For example, if you have a meeting tomorrow that you need to prepare for, knowing that only 3 days are left can help motivate and get you through the morning. Google Now also shows you reminders for tasks that have less than 1 day remaining, so even when there isn't an explicit time frame for a task, you'll be given advice on when completing it is most important. How do I make a whole new event on my Google Calendar? Making a whole new event on your Google Calendar can sometimes be a bit of a headache. Here are a few tips to help make the process easier. Firstly, if you want to create an event that spans multiple days, you will first need to create individual events. This is possible by clicking the plus symbol in the top right corner of the event, and selecting Add Day. This will add a new day to the event, and separate it from the rest. If you only want to create an event for 1 day, but don't know how many days it will be until the task is complete, you can do something called duration calculation. To do this, click on the time icon next to the task name, and select duration calculation. Google Now will then give you a breakdown of how many hours and minutes are left until the task is due. Conclusion: Google Now is ever so helpful when it comes to taking notes or completing tasks. In this article, we will see how to use Google Now to show you the number of days left until your task is complete. This information can be handy in planning time-sensitive tasks or in recognizing whether you have enough time left to complete a task.